can't believe it's so crowded here. Maybe we should come back.
How about never? Does never sound good?
Boys, a family swim is a great way to kick off the summer.
Let's not forget, opening day is free.
The hell with Wimpy, Diary of a Rich-Ass Kid. This motherfucker's had 3 movies now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not something I would have pictured as being a franchise.
I know,
Let
Wimpy-
alone have 3 movies.
Exactly.
Neither did, I'm sure a lot of people didn't expect those Ernest movies to make more than one movie, but they did. And,
But people
Do not question the power of the Varney.
Yeah. But what's funny is how this is based on a popular children's book series, and there's so many. Like, you got your Harry Potters and your Twilights and your Hunger Games, but there's so many of those books they try to adapt and turn into a series, and it just does not work. They just fall by the wayside.
I was just surprised at the material where, this is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Day Afternoon, where these 2 kids, they go and they rob a bank and, one of the kids comes out that, he's secretly gay.
Yeah.
And he's Attica!
The whole thing is to pay for the fat kids transgender operation.
It's a fat kid screaming, "Hey, they just said that I'm gay. I'm not gay."
Hey, this son of a bitch, he should have his own gym right by now.
This is a combination, indeed, of 2 books from the series. So because obviously there's just not enough in the books to make a single movie out of. I think the last one was too, indeed.
No. It was. Well, I guess that's right. You're right. They did take elements from 2 books to make that one.
Yeah.
And with this one, they just skipped over the middle book, The Last Straw, and just went straight to Dog Days, but just borrowed stuff from The Last Straw.
Well, I see this series is like your Twilight then, because you've read all these books.
It's because it's
I had a free afternoon.
I always find it funny sitting next to Leon, and he just starts dishing out all this information about this series. Where I was like,
Coach, you don't understand.
"Are you serious?" I didn't even ask him for any of this shit. He's like telling me the whole history. He's like, "Yeah, they missed one of the books." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
I know. It's like Leon is so illiterate that when it even comes to picture books, it's too complicated for him. He's like, too much color. These pictures are wait a minute. Stick figures. This is my level right here.
I just felt so bad for him because obviously he needs to share this with somebody, and there's nobody around his age group. I'm sure he was like looking at him going, "Dude, what in the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah. Hey, man. Just read that in your Diary of a Wimpy Kid book? What was up with that bullshit? You believe that?
Leon,
I don't understand what happened in the 3rd act.
Yeah, wait a minute. Didn't you almost get hit by a car trying to run to the Wimpy Kid panel at Comic-Con?
Wow.
Hey, man.
Wow, man, you guys can stretch a joke so far.
Oh, don't worry. Hey, there's
I don't
plenty
even
more.
recognize it by the time it comes back to
There's
me.
plenty more of this bubblicious to stretch out.
We just begun, man. Hold on. Tell me what we were talking about earlier, Carl. No, but, so, maybe you have read all these books so far, right?
Read is a strong word, but I flipped through them.
Well, of course, read is a strong word because most of them are picture books.
Well, when he was standing in the children's section, he wasn't really looking at the book.
The thing is, you could read all these books like if you missed your bus, while you wait for the next one.
Now I picture Leon missing the bus and pulling out from his backpack a goddamn Diary of a Wimpy Kid book.
He's intentionally missing the bus so he can find out what's going to happen next adventure.
Now, to be fair, he's kindling them.
Okay, all right.
And I knew somebody was going to have to explain it to the co-host.
Okay. Well, you know what? You guys are the ones to have seen this because Cyrus and I, we were out watching a real adult movie, but you guys, now Carl,
a movie with an actual story.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what?
I like how you 2 dicks act like we didn't just take a bullet for y'all.
I didn't say nothing. It was, but I am grateful.
Hey man, for some reason, no one can say anything about you because we all fought who was going to go see this movie, and we don't even know why.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like for some reason we all wanted to be Jesus on this movie. We all wanted to make the sacrifice.
We all just went, whatever, I don't care, whoever's doing it, I'll take it if I need to, whatever.
Yeah.
And Leon's the one's like, I don't want to see this fucking movie, but I have to.
Yeah. He never said why he had to, but he just had to see this movie. Hey, but co-host, are you not caught up on the Wimpy Kid saga so far?
No, and I never will be. No, so sorry, I got nothing for you on that front. Yeah.
Oh, but have you seen any of the movies before?
I did see the last one. Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember I actually had to pay to see the last one.
Yeah, same
I don't
here.
think they had a screening.
They didn't do a screening for us for either the first 2.
Yeah.
So with this one, I guess he decided like, all right, you guys been good. Here you go.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, which is funny because I thought, whenever they don't do a screening, you're just like, okay, it's going to be fucking terrible, just because that's usually how these screenings are when they don't have one. And with this, I was like, oh, wow, okay, they're actually having a screening, so maybe they I don't know, have something for me.
This is the one where they got the formula to work?
Yes, something. Yes,
This is the triumphant Dog Days film.
It's like Diary. The wimpy kid actually grew some balls, and now he can like try to share his movie with everyone. But after seeing this, I was like, probably not just yet, kid.
Yeah, how many years has it been? Because these are the same actors who play the same characters. You got Greg, his brother Roderick, and then all those other little assholes.
Yeah, Rowley and Rowley is best friend, and Fregley, some ginger kid that they all hate for no real reason.
The only kid who looks like he hasn't aged at all since the first one is the freckly one. Because the main kid, this might be the last Iron.
Well, the weird thing is about this kid, I don't remember the actor's name, but who plays Greg, the main kid.
Zachary Gordon.
Zachary Gordon. There's something kind of off about the way he looks. Like, he's not growing, but he's looking older.
Dude, his face is growing. He's looking, because the whole, like, seeing him when they popped him up on screen, I was like, why does this fucking little kid look like the 40-year-old virgin? I mean, it's like his face grew, but the rest of his body, like, refused. The rest of his body was on strike.
He's got that curse that, like, Jerry Mathers was a beaver, and that boy that played in Home Alone.
But he's got this little body, and he looks like he lifts weights, because he's got pecs and abs, but yet he's about 4 feet tall. And he's got a face that looks like a young shimp.
I'm telling you, when they hire people for these kids' films, they look at their whole family and go, man, those people are fucking short.
Yeah.
Let's get that kid.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they do. Because it's like, you know what? If he's this age, he must be about 15, and he hasn't grown any more than this. He ain't going
That's
to.
what these kids do, man. They grow up to be mutants. I mean, you don't realize. You think that when they're kids, you think, oh, man, these kids are so cute. But you don't realize that they're so ugly that they're cute.
Well,
and then they grow up to be ugly people.
I'm looking forward to the outtakes on the DVD where you see him smoking a cigar in between takes. shaving with a big anchor tattoo on his arm.
There you have it, folks, from Leon. I'm looking forward to owning the DVD.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, these movies have... They've been so long before. Well, I guess not. I guess they just churn these things out, because I think, like any other movie, they have to like take a couple of years to make the next one. But I guess they churn these out every year.
Dude, have you seen a Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie? They don't put no work into it.
Exactly.
You can make one of these in a month.
I was about to say.
I think these are made by interns, pretty much.
No, I would say this should be the one that. This shouldn't be called Dog Day. This should be called Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Greg grows pubes by now. Something. I mean, it's
that's not really what happens, though.
So he's still a little kid, huh?
Yeah. He's still going into the 8th grade.
Damn, this motherfucker should have his GED.
I know. It's like, how compelling. I know. I was like, man, I would be shocked if I like try to look up the IMDb and all these kids are like 16, 17, 18-year-olds, but they're in the fucking 8th grade. It's like South Park kids where they just never fucking grow up.
Yeah, well, by the end of the Harry
any
Potter
kid
movies where it's their senior year and they're all like,
in their
they've
30s.
been married 2 times.
Yeah, I mean, almost every actor is older than their character is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as far as a plot, there's not a whole lot here to tell you. I mean, the reason they used 2 books because both books dealt with summer. So it's all about, hey, okay, it's summer. And Greg's like, man, I can't wait till summer. I'm going to spend all summer playing video games every day. And his dad, played by Steve Zahn, is like, no, you goddamn not. You going to get your ass out there. You going to run. You going to do something.
Get a job.
His older brother Roderick's like, you ain't got nothing to do. I'm going to get you high. Which is pretty much what happened to me.
It's funny you just say that about a job because, like, what it is, it's like it's a bunch of summer kind of vignettes, like shit Greg gets into, and they somehow managed to line these up in a way where it sort of tells a story. I mean, you get a little bit more of Steve Zahn, which helps the movie. But it's a lot of them going back and forth with each other, whereas his dad's like, look, you got to do something. And the girl that he likes from school, he's got a crush on, she goes to the same country club as Rowley. Rowley gets him in. So he just starts telling his dad, like, hey, Dad, I got a job at the country club, so I have to go there every day. And he's just lying his ass off. And that finally comes back around to bite him in the ass. There's a whole thing where his dad wants to have him be a Boy Scout and go on these camping trips, and that's just not working out.
And there's that other storyline where, you know, he has this friend that's obviously in love with him, but he doesn't know when to come out of the closet, apparently. I mean, it's another storyline where I'm like, man, didn't they already do this in the last movie? But I guess that relationship with him and his best friend is played by Chris Farley. It's just something that it's a reoccurring, I guess, theme with these movies, which of course, you're gonna have issues with your bromance that you got going on. But it is one of those things where it's all kind of strung together, and there's times where you think a certain like the thing with his dad, where his dad's trying to bond with him. There's a part in the movie where that storyline just kind of deadlines for a while, and then they try to bring it back up at the very tail end of the movie.
Yeah.
So for me, watching this movie, I was like, wow, this movie should have been called ADD, because I mean, it really is like a series of comedy sketches dealing with these situations that kids would deal with in the summer, but doing it in such a playful way that it felt like I was watching the longest Nickelodeon show ever. I mean, it felt like I watched a series of episodes based with the same kids dealing with these same situations that I felt like I kind of seen before in the other movie. So it was very kind of disjointed, and I'm like, wow, I wish they would just find one storyline to go with, so all these motivations, all these characters can have some kind of real, I don't know, connection with each other.
I feel like you're asking for too much.
And that's the thing. I had to slow down watching this movie, because hearing the laughter in the audience, especially with it all coming from kids and their parents. I mean, this movie isn't made for fucking me. It's not made for Cyrus. It sure as hell ain't made for Corey. But
No, hey, wait. Let's not jump ahead here.
Oh, well, then maybe it is. I mean, I was trying to save your ass.
I haven't seen this one. I'm just saying.
Like you're gonna go see.
Yeah, you're gonna.
That's why I'm eagerly waiting to hear your review.
Okay,
that's why I'm listening right now.
But the thing is, it is geared towards that Nickelodeon type crowd.
It's funny that you should say that too, man, because I remember it took the second movie for me to realize that 20th Century Fox was releasing these and not Paramount Pictures, which do Nick movies.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember bringing this up. I was like, you seen that Nickelodeon movie? What is it? Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Of course, Leon corrected me. He's like, hey, look. He's like, no, you actually did. You told me it's 20th Century Fox. But it does feel like a Nickelodeon movie, maybe because it feels like a Nickelodeon show. At least the last one that I saw.
Yeah,
It really
all
does.
Those Nickelodeon movies are just like an episode of the show that's 2 hours and doesn't feel any different from that at all.
Yeah.
With the exception of that Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, that was when they put a lot of work into. Yeah, man. I mean, coming into this, I was like, well, I think the way to watch a Wimpy Kid movie is in D box, as in D garbage box. Because I fucking hated the second movie. I forgot what it was called. Was it Roderick Rules?
Roderick Rules.
Yeah, I was just like, man, they just threw this shit together. They knew they had a licensed property that kids are into. They made a bunch of money off the last one, out much effort, and so they just don't give a shit anymore.
And the last movie actually debuted at #1. I forgot.
I know.
I forgot what. Do you remember what movie was against? Because it was some really big budget special effects movie.
You're right. Yeah.
And when Wimpy Kid took
because
it
we were
over,
saying like it ain't that wimpy.
because I felt Hector ejaculate all the way from his house to over here on top of my head.
I know.
People, you don't know Hector. Hector celebrates every. He's a member of the site. He's a kid. He's a cool kid. He's in a wheelchair. He's doing his
thing.
Why you got to bring up the wheelchair?
Because I think wheels are cool. He's motorized.
He's a savior.
Yeah.
He's a cyborg.
Yeah, that's what
Who
that's
doesn't
what I
love
look
Hot
at.
Wheels? Come on.
How old is Hector now? How old is he?
Too goddamn old to be going crazy for the
Thank you.
But
Same age as Greg, the Wimpy Kid.
yeah. Except Greg doesn't have wheels. See? Hector's already driving.
That's right.
But see, Hector goes crazy for these movies. Every time they come out, it is a national holiday for him.
This is Hector's Dark Knight. It really is.
It
I will
is.
say, back props to Hector, though. He'll get all excited and be like, what'd you guys think? What do you guys think? And we'll do the review. He goes, well, people disagree, and I'm sad that you couldn't like it as much as I. He's like so mature about it, but he loves the Diary of a
He's
Wimpy
very
Kid
optimistic
movies.
about it. We'll all give the
I was
movie
like,
a rental or some bullshit.
Why can't Dark Knight fans be as mature as Hector?
Well, he's the only
That is
fan.
true.
He's the only fan that I know that will write. I'm sure he writes to you, Corey, because I fucking know he writes to me, because it's always like every time I get an email from him, it's about Diary. It's like, have you seen the new Diary trailer? Are you going to be able to see it? Do you think they're going to have a screening for it? When you find out, can you write me and tell me how it is?
What do you think about the differences between the book and the movie?
What are the nuances between the first Wimpy Kid? And I told Hector, if you don't quit fucking writing, I'm gonna roll you out to a bus. I don't hear from him anymore. I don't know why. But the reason why I brought up Hector is because Hector is very mature. We could give this movie a fuck you, and Hector will come in and say, I am so glad that the Spill Crew gets this movie. Fuck you. And it's like,
Or he'll be like, I'm glad you got to see it, and I know you guys always go into things with an open mind, but
Yeah.
I felt differently than you do it. I wish you could have enjoyed it as much as I do, that kind of thing. And you're like, I just don't, I'm lost in this juxtaposition of that being the most mature response we
I know.
ever get from anyone.
Leon, you
and that
hated-
you like these movies.
Exactly. You hated the last two
I hated
movies.
Roderick Rules. I was
So,
just like, wow,
it was not good.
it was to me it was worse than one of those.
Yeah, but
Disney
in
Channel
this
movies.
one-
But actually, you know what? This is one of those
Oh
like.
shit! Let me just say, Hector's about. Wait, what is that? I hear Hector about. I hear him pulling donuts in the parking lot right now in that wheelchair
I
because
can
you actually
smell-
like this movie.
I can smell that rubber burning.
Well,
He just went into Cerebro and is checking out your review right now.
What do you want to say?
3 is a magic,
Magic
number.
number.
Yes, it is. but
Hector doesn't know what the hell you're talking about.
I know.
Is it because Roderick gets tattooed in this one? Is that
Well,
why?
I don't know what it is about like these movies, these franchise movies, where the second movie sucks, but they kind of bounce back with the third movie, just like with Madagascar.
Well, of course, here the first one wasn't any good, so.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you. But you know what? As far as I went into this, just like, man, I really do hate these movies. And it started out like everything Cole said. It's like, wow, this is just like the worst of Nickelodeon, Disney Channel movies. And yet, every so often, something would happen that made me laugh, just kind of chuckle. And then I heard myself. I was like, God damn it, who is that laugh? Oh shit, that's me. Like I found it somewhat charming. Like they put more work into it. Because in the beginning, it starts out where it's like, here we go again. Here's a setup for a joke, and yet no punchline came. And it's all coming from just the fact that Greg is he's freaked out because he's in a gym. I mean, he's in a pool place where men are changing clothes. It's like, fucking kid, get over yourself. There's nothing weird here. Just you trying to make it weird. But later you start to get into situations that genuinely are like a kid's nightmare where you're like, oh shit, what's he gonna do now? And Greg just keeps fucking up. He keeps having these ideas like, I'll do this and it'll make it better. And you're sitting there going, nope. And it's fun to watch it play out. Also, in the past movies, like the parents who plays at such dopes that it just kind of irked me. It's like, wow, they don't even want to have parents in here. But Steve Zahn, as the dad, he gets a much bigger role, and just the tension between him and his dad, it lends itself to some comedy.
Our neighbors, the Warrens, have kids that are your typical outdoorsy type. My dad has this crazy idea that physical exercise is normal. I know my dad has his eye on me. So the key to a successful summer will be to stay one move ahead.
Hey,
Oh, hey, Dad.
are you sweating?
Yeah, just finished up some sports playing.
And some of the situations, I mean, it gets kind of random because, like, you know, I can't deny anything Cole's is saying. It's basically like about 5 different setup mini plots they string together in a movie, and yet they do manage to inject enough humor into them that I found myself, you know, enjoying it.
Did they skip the last book, or did they combine the last two?
They combined
Okay.
it. They took because there's the stuff. Everything with the third book was about this SAG Academy. It's not really a military academy. It's like Hogwarts, except instead of teaching you magic, they just beat your ass all day.
Like any given military academy, basically.
So they keep having that in there, and that's actually almost a throwaway. It's just something to where it's that looming dragon where it's like, Greg, if you don't shape up, this is where you're going.
Yeah, my parents used
Why-
to pull that on me, too.
Yeah, you know, one of my favorite characters in this book. I mean, well, I haven't read the book, but and I haven't even seen the series. I just saw the last movie. I'm an expert or something. But in that last movie that because I saw that at midnight with you, co-host. That's one of those midnight movie madnesses where we look like where we look
like felt like madness when you came out of it.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing with my life?
well, we felt like child molesters going in.
Yeah,
you know, because
yeah.
they look at us like
Why
that.
you make you wonder why there is a midnight screening of this movie?
They show midnight movies of kids movies, and they wonder. Then they look at the 2 adults that go in like they're fucking going in to pick up kids. And ain't no fucking kids in here to pick up.
See,
What
well,
looking at me like
I just go with it. That's right. And you ain't stopping me. I'm going in.
You know, I got to stop wearing that trench coat when I go see these movies.
A screening
yeah.
hosted by Chris Hansen. Oh, you got some popcorn and some condoms and wine coolers, please.
I
sit down.
always tell Corey, hey, look, you're sitting by Pedo Bear this time, all right? That motherfucker cannot keep his hands in one place.
Exactly. Hey, Mr. Bear. Hand job with those big fuzzy paws. But you know what? I love Roderick in these movies. Well, love is probably a
No, I know what you
stretch.
mean.
But Roderick is the one. He's the character that I actually like the most because he's the asshole big brother. Like there's no bond between him and Greg, and I should feel guilty, but for some reason, Greg is just, well, he's such a wimpy kid that I feel like he has it coming from his brother. And I really like Roderick. I was Roderick in this movie.
Well, that's the thing. Because you know what, with Roderick, where I have to get over the fact that the guy is basically going to grow up to be Mick Jagger. That
it's funny because the man plays. He does a pretty good Mick Jagger impression.
He does a great
he
one.
plays in a band in this movie. He does.
Yeah, he actually. I was like, wow, because all I thought was Mick Jagger, and at the end, you see him actually in his band, and he actually does his Mick Jagger move where he's like doing that chicken head thing. Where
really?
Yeah, like he's a
hey man, he's got the moves like Jagger.
Moves like Jagger.
I know. I kept waiting for David Bowie to come out and start dancing. But with that guy though, I was, because he's like, okay, this is the one guy that he is the cause of all the hell that this little kid has to go through. So me personally, those are the highlights of the film for me. Unfortunately, with this one though, it seemed like they kind of didn't give him that much to do.
Yeah, not a whole lot of riding.
Not a whole lot. And that was kind of the disappointing thing, because his only big deal is that he realizes that a girl that he likes, who is his age,
who's Greg?
Yeah, Greg. Who there's a girl that he likes, and the only way that he can get to see her on a daily basis during the summer is attending this country club, where his brother's obviously getting in as a guest. So they run with that storyline, but it really doesn't go anywhere. I mean,
I don't know. That's because that's how they finish it.
But that's the thing, though. They keep introducing it during the middle.
Yeah.
But he just hangs out and he does a couple of smart ass comments, but they don't do anything with it, though. I mean, it's just set up for that very end, the last scene. But
Yeah.
I thought he was wasted, because I was really looking forward to him, because it's funny listening to you hear you say that you caught yourself, you were the only one laughing, because you know what, he wasn't lying. There's times when I kind of looked at him at questionable parts, especially there's a few jokes in there where I'm like, okay, that didn't fucking go nowhere. And who's laughing? This motherfucker right here, Leon. He's like,
Are you loving this, Cyrus?
I know. I was like, now you know what it's like.
You get the Adam Sandler experience.
I know.
I'm sure Coach is looking at me. He's like, I don't hear Adam Sandler's voice. Why are you laughing?
I know. I was like, is he watching a movie on his iPod or something? What's going on over here?
Well, Leon, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but it sounds like you saying that you like this movie better than the last two. I don't know if it's a coincidence that this director has directed a movie that you liked.
Which one?
Astro Boy and Flushed Away. He's an animation director.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do.
wow.
I do like both of those movies a lot.
David Bowers.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was David Bowers, but I didn't know what he directed.
It's funny because
before.
I say the director, but I don't know if he has any reison for more storytelling here, or stronger storytelling.
Not
okay,
really.
let me put this.
Cole's like, fuck him.
No. Because I'll be honest with you. This pretty much felt like it was directed by the same person who did the last one.
I didn't feel that way at all. Because I will put this in context of going like, look, at the end of the day, it's still a wimpy kid movie.
Yeah.
It's not that great. I wouldn't be here saying like, man, you need to go see this. And co-host, I don't know what you saw. I get it, man. I get where you're coming from. I would never tell you guys to see it, but I would say like, look, if you have to see it, of these movies, it's the best one. Mm-hmm. It felt more like a genuine movie than just a bunch of like, look, let's just put this thing together and make some money. Like the ends close off, and it's got a finale that that they do around it. When they finally get to it, it does work. It's it's enjoyable, and it's
an ending.
It's an ending. Where I like the other one, I felt like that just kind of went off. Like they just had nothing. They're like, look, let's just pack up and go.
Okay.
And so it leads to something.
What would you give it?
I was gonna say, like, because it's still a wimpy kid movie, I still give it a rental. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't rise above that, but it's nowhere near a similar bullshit or fuck you. At least not to me.
Shit.
And,
I thought you were gonna give it a matinee, honestly.
No. Come on, let's not get crazy.
That's the next movie where this Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Greg kills Roderick.
but the thing about Roderick not being in it as much, you know what? They aren't as antagonistic. If I maybe get deep. They're older now. They've matured. There's no reason for Roderick to be that asshole. And in that maturing, Greg is he's more of an enemy to himself than Roderick could be to him.
He always was in these films. He was always. That's why I didn't really like the first two, because Greg is such a useless little shit.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Just
a
wimpy little douchebag that gets himself in trouble.
Yeah.
Sure, his brother maliciously takes advantage of these situations, but if I was his brother in those situations, I would too.
Well, his brother's more. This movie's more like, whatever, dude. Oh wait, you can help me. All right, you're gonna fucking help me. God damn it.
Well, the way you make it sound like right now, Greg got some abs and got a little bit of muscle on him, and Roger looking at him like, I better quit fucking with this guy.
Yeah,
before
but
he
Greg is
turns
still
18.
4 feet tall.
But you can see the
fucking
hand right on the
Hightower.
wall. You know, Greg's gonna probably be 18 and 6 feet and beat the fuck out of Roger one day.
Greg's either going to be really funny or he's going to be a really stocky motherfucker.
Just busting open the door, raping Roderick every night.
Well, Leon, well, I have to admit, Leon, I'm glad you're here for this review because if I was doing this by myself, I have nothing to fucking say besides, you know what? Either you're into this dumb shit or you're not. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to give. I can't even give you a real character summary about any of these characters because it's like this. For me, it was just the same shit I saw last time. And and the thing is that there's nothing wrong with that because it is directed towards an audience, but being a critic, like I am, even though my name's co-host, I have to kind of be honest because with some movie like this, because I have to think, I remember I've seen kids' movies that I actually really like, where they actually put a lot of effort and thought into the story, into the comedy of it all. Where it felt very like just phoned in. The comedy was about as safe as you could possibly get.
Well, it is a kids movie.
It's a kids movie, but at least with Pixar, when you think about Pixar movies, they always throw something in fun for the family. Where this is directly, this is just for the fucking kids, and that's the thing because you see adults like they might as well just have these adults just going wah 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 because it doesn't matter. They're just there to
like
be
Charlie
adults.
Brown adults?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just where I don't even know why they have
They were
dialogue.
playing tubas or something.
I thought he was scat singing.
I know. I mean, it's like they're there being
dad
fucking
was
dumb
Popeye.
adults. Yeah. Sorry, I guess nobody gets the penis reference
I do.
anymore. This is
I
a whole
do.
whole new generation, Leon.
Penis
But,
reference? Wait,
penis,
Say,
yeah,
wait
the
a
penis
minute.
reference.
I missed something. What
I
movie
got
were
you.
you hoping for?
Go ahead, man. Go
But
ahead.
but the thing is that it's the same. It's the same shit.
Okay.
And I would give it a rental. Because it's competent, it has a beginning, middle, and end, and these characters aren't straying away from what they were before, which is the same.
I'm confused now. What
fucking
do you
kids.
get? What are you giving this?
I gave it a rental.
Oh, you gave? I thought you. Okay, I thought
you need to listen.
I thought you because you said I would give it a rental. I thought you were leading up to some bullshit.
Oh no!
I don't understand. He
I'm-
obviously liked it more than you did.
I know that's the thing. That's the thing which throws me off because I'm like it's a rental in every sense because it is following those other films. It's very consistent with what those other films have brought you. This one's a little bit it's a little bit more entertaining. There's a little bit more going on, but for me, I still don't care.
I found, as much as I tried, I found I just couldn't really be entertained by the last movie. And with this one, I was like, you know what? You come down to its level, and there's things here to enjoy.
Even though I will admit that main kid, he's a fucking asshole. He's growing into the biggest fucking asshole.
Greg?
Yeah,
Greggy?
Greg is an
He's
asshole.
born,
And he's a shithead.
He's a born liar. He's just not good at it yet.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
look
no.
forward to entry like 8 or 9 in this series where he's just a grifter, and the movie is always this big con.
Well, I was just amazed about in this movie how much he treats his only friend like shit. Where this kid, his friend, is actually in love with him, and it's always like every time you see you see that his fat friend looking into his eyes like, will you please just accept me for who I am and love me because I'm every single one of these movies I'm screaming for your attention
Co-host.
and you never give it to me.
Co-host, were you that kid?
Fuck no.
You know what you said? You say this? They compiled the last 2 books into one movie
Yeah.
right here. It sounds like the way you're describing this, it probably would have been helped had they split this last movie up into 2 films.
No! What the hell is wrong with you, you damn fanboy?
Heck disagreeing.
This summer,
In case we don't make it, something I have to tell you. One time, I went to the bathroom, and I didn't wash my hands.
One time, I used your toothbrush to get dog poop off my shoe.
What?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Day.
Away on a little vacation.